All right, there we go. I see it.
We're here.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
Hey, hey,
What's going on, people?
what's up,
how's
man?
everybody? We're
Okay,
good.
we are doing good. We are on time. We didn't keep the CP time.
Nope,
Thank
nope.
you.
Yeah, so
People
at
don't
least
appreciate that CP time. They
people
want,
don't
they want,
appreciate that.
they want you
Nah,
early or on time.
you either early
Exactly.
or you're late.
I love getting the notification that says "Watch live now, knowledge and power." I love
Yeah,
it.
pretty
Me
cool.
too.
I
So how you
love it.
guys doing?
Well, I'm doing
Doing
good, man.
wonderful.
Doing great.
That's
Doing great.
good.
How
Hmm.
about you?
Doing good. Doing real good. So anything interesting happened this week for you guys?
Oh, go ahead, Jake. I gotta think.
I know this week went by really quick.
Yeah,
I
that was
mean,
my feeling.
right. I was thinking like everything I did, I already did it. I'm like, I just did this. Every day it seemed like, your routine is like it goes, but nothing super special just happened, but it was just a quick week for me.
Yeah, our
Quick
week went
week.
by pretty fast too. Just wow. Yeah, it was a blaze. It went by really fast.
Yeah,
I know
Hmm.
it's gotten colder.
it has
Oh,
gotten colder.
And we did had the fireplace on a few nights this week.
Really?
yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Oh, I turned the heat on
You turned the heat
month,
on already?
months ago.
Oh, you said months ago. Man, it was still hot last
I
week.
know. Well, that no, not for me.
Man, yeah, it's been getting chilly. I can't stand the cold. So
I think it dipped into the 30s last night
It
yeah,
did.
here.
I think
the
Yeah.
it
night
did.
the night before that too.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And today was like 46 degrees as a high here in Detroit. Not
And
Detroit,
they
but Lansing.
and I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be in the 50s.
Nope, it didn't crack.
Yeah.
It didn't get quite make it, did
It
it?
didn't crack the fitties.
Didn't crack it. I don't have a coat, man. I ain't ready for all this.
Mm,
Oh,
mm, mm.
No coat in Michigan. What sense does that make?
right.
Man,
And
Shopping
been
trip.
living here all my life.
okay, so there's something that did happen.
What's that?
I got a new coat.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I'm jealous, man.
So check it out. Check it out. This is like a little I'm not gonna call it a rant. So the TJ Maxx that's in the mall near
Yeah.
us closed down. We
Oh,
went out
Oh
there,
man.
I think about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, check it out, and it was closed. So I'm like, well, maybe they opened up another location.
no, they ain't
So
got no workers. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, so
That's true.
we were going to breakfast Friday, and lo and behold, out where the breakfast place was the new TJ Maxx location. So I'm saying, let's go check it out, see what they got, blah 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 blah. And we went in there, and they had these North Face winter coats
Mm.
in my size, which is
Uh,
What's hard to find?
yeah.
hard to find because I'm
Yeah.
tall,
Tall.
long, and North
North
Face
Face.
coats they run small. So I'm like, oh yeah. My wife's like, try it on. I'm like, man, I don't need to try it on. I don't need no coat. Try it on. I'm not gonna try it on. Try it on. All right, I'll try it on. So I tried it on, and it fit. And I'm like, you know what? That's cool that it fits. Let's go now. I'm ready to leave. So I knew she was gonna want to buy it. And I'm like, we don't need this coat. She's like, you're not gonna find this coat for this price. It's a steal. You got to get it now, especially in this size. You got to get it. So we was going
She
back and forth, and
she
and and
thinks like me.
yeah, she think like you, Jake. We was going back and forth, and it was almost about to turn into an argument. So I'm like, I ain't spending this money.
Y'all was about to go into.
I ain't spending this
Where
money.
was
She's
it?
like,
Where was it at?
and then she gave me the Shrek cat eyes. Don't yell at me. Please don't yell at me. I felt all guilty. So I'm like, all right, fine. And we ended up buying the coat. So
Hmm.
now I got a winter coat and you don't. And
Thanks.
so when it get cold, I'm already ready thanks to the wife.
You already.
That
Thanks to
wife,
the wife.
she
Yeah,
knows what you have need
yeah,
of.
yeah. She knows. Yeah,
Wow.
she knows that you have need of, Jake. There you go.
Wow. So I need to
Thank you, brother.
listen to her
Yep.
celebrating in the background
In the
back there.
background, so y'all can send
Right.
donations to cover that hit.
So if I understand correctly, Nate, in order for me to get a coat,
Yeah.
now where we all where'd you get the coat from?
TJ Maxx for the
Okay, so
minimum
I
at
need
TJ
to
Maxx.
so I need to
Oh
send up
yeah.
to TJ Maxx and like get into a scuffutation.
Yeah, you got to take. You got to take
And get into a scuffutation, not confrontation, a scuff.
a scuffutation.
Right.
Scuffutation
Yeah.
with my lady.
With your
Who,
lady.
by the way, happy birthday to Miss T. It's her
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Trish.
happy birthday to
Happy
you.
It's
birthday.
her birthday today.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
so that's how I can get me a coat.
That's it.
Yeah. But you
She
got
might even-
you got to be on the side of I ain't buying this coat. I got
Gotcha.
better things to spend my money on.
Got you.
Like electricity and meat and stuff like that.
Got it, man. I'm putting it down. I'm writing
Yeah.
it down now.
Yeah, right
Got
there.
it. Got
And
it.
see, the bad thing was I knew it was a good deal because I know how much these coats cost, right? These coats
Exactly.
cost. But
Yeah,
I was
when you said that brand, I was like, oh man.
I'm a stickler, man. For
So it was a good deal.
it was.
Mhm.
I have to admit, it was. But I
Okay.
still didn't want to spend the money. But if I was going to wait to buy a coat, I probably would have spent a whole lot more trying to get a coat in my size that's warm. You know, for these Michigan winters that we're about to experience.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
believing God. We
that's
don't have
true.
that. But listen,
What's up,
you
bro?
bought a coat this weekend. I did purchase something this weekend. But
What'd you get?
I purchased something opposite of a coat.
What's that?
I'm a stickler for a good deal too. So I was hanging out in Meyer,
Oh yeah.
and they had a 30% off sale on some sliders.
Sliders.
So I know we should be getting ready for winter.
like shoes?
Yes.
Like little sandwiches.
Okay.
Or-
Yes.
You said little
No,
sandwich.
the shoes.
Little
You know,
sandwiches,
like the shoes that
Some
the
White
kids
Castles.
that the kids always wearing with their athletic gear now.
Yeah.
They play,
Oh, yeah,
play
yeah.
ball.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
I've always wanted a pair. I'm an Adidas guy.
Oh, they're Adidas.
Oh, the Adidas.
Okay.
And I'm not paying $35-$40 for no,
For
I
some
know.
sliders.
no plastic
No,
shoes.
man.
Right.
But they won't sell for between $6 and $8.
Oh, that's a good deal.
So I know we head into the winter, but I had to jump on this sale.
I know
That's
you
a good
did.
deal.
I did. So I scooped a pair up and I got in line to get ready to purchase them. And the lady that was in the checkout, it was late, granted. They had about 2 hours to go before they closed. And she put me in the mind of the chick from School Days. Y'all gotta remember the movie School
I remember the
Days
movie.
now.
Which one you talking
Which
about?
People that's listening out there. The movie School Days, when they all jumped in the car and they rolled to the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
They walked up in there, and she had the glasses on, and her head was
Yeah.
up in the air. She said, "Welcome to KFC, man. I help you." That's what she said. And they was like, "Yeah, we want to get a bucket of chicken." And she was like, "White meat or dark meat?" He's like, "White meat." She's like, "We don't have white meat." He's like, "What you asked for then?" So that girl, picture her. She was
Okay.
the one that was ringing us up at Meyer. And she was just dropping people's stuff in the bag. Clank, 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 clank. So I was like, man, I got to go deal with this. So sure enough, it was my turn. She rung me up, and I had my sliders as the last thing. And she rung them up, and they said like $30-some. And I was like, oh, that's not the right price. She said, that's what it rung up as.
Uh-oh.
I was like, but the signs say, that's what it rung up as. And she
Oh, no.
doing her head like that. And I was like, okay,
Excuse me.
I don't want them then. She took them, and she threw them behind her.
Wow.
And I just shook my head, man, and then she was getting ready to tally up my total. I was like, okay, before you total that, I'm not the only person you're going to have a problem with that's going to bring these shoes up here to buy. Because the signs say between $6 and $8. But that's all I got to say. I don't want them. Carry on. And then she was doing something, and she gave them to me for $8, man.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
So point is, I don't have a coat.
You got
Got
some
some sweet
slides.
sliders.
But I got some sweet sliders.
That was
so
a good
if,
deal.
if we ever get a warm day in December,
Right.
You gonna slide them on?
I can slide them on
You
and
gonna
rock
slide
those.
them on? Make sure you got your socks on though.
That's right.
$8, man.
Crispy white socks.
Yes. Well, you know, I don't like no white socks, man.
Oh, you like the dark
You know, all
socks.
I is,
black.
yeah, the
Crispy black
man.
socks.
The black. That's a Jordan thing there. Sorry.
Even with shorts.
Even with shorts, Jake.
Mm.
Even with shorts, gotta have my ankle black socks. But anyway, that was my week.
Yeah. That was the deal of a century.
Yeah, deal of a century.
Yeah, so maybe I'll be able to give a testimony about the coat soon. But yeah. So other than that, fellas, you know, we kind of finished off on an interesting topic last night. It was our last time. It was our first week back.
Yeah, we got in. We was getting into it. Talking about R. Kelly.
Yeah, Mr. R. Kelly.
Oh yeah,
talking
the
about
king of R&B.
the king of
The
R&B.
king.
Yeah, the king of R&B. But and you know, we hit on the subject of we don't know these people, so they all have a certain lifestyle behind closed doors that we don't even know anything about.
Right. That's true.
So you know, and that's all of them. So the question is, you know, would we actually stop listening to them or supporting? Not because it is supporting. Will we stop listening to their music just because you know we hear
Right.
something that's crazy or that's contradicting to what we ourselves believe a person should do or how a person should act? So we titled tonight because we want to talk about a couple of different things, and I'll talk about redemption.
Redemption.
Yeah,
Ooh.
redemption.
Yeah,
So
redemption draweth nigh.
yeah. So the question is, you know, how can R. Kelly redeem his name? But just for the sake of argument, you know, he was just brought up on trial and found guilty. He has not been sentenced yet.
Yeah.
So I do want to make that correction. I gave an error last week by saying
Okay.
his sentence is. He has
Yeah.
not been sentenced yet.
He did what he was found guilty on.
But he
Was
was
it 14,
found guilty.
19,
All
14
counts.
charges? All
Yeah.
counts. However many it was, all counts.
All counts.
Yeah, I heard
So,
that it was going to be May for his sentencing.
Yeah, so that's what he's staring down now, his actual sentencing date.
Yeah.
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 So the question is, you know, how can he redeem his name? Is it even worth redeeming if he's facing the rest of his life in prison?
Mm.
You know, it's hard to even say if he can, if it's possible. But one thing I noticed about musicians, singers, and entertainers, good music always brings forgiveness or at least forgetfulness when it comes to what people has done. It seems
I
like,
think forgetfulness is a better word.
yeah, when
Mhm.
they put out some more good music, if he can do that from prison,
Right.
that
Yeah.
always seems to throw the sins in the background, you know.
Mhm.
Because we did say last week that after his conviction,
Hmm.
his record sales, his streaming
Yeah.
sales, they went
They
up.
skyrocketed. Yeah.
They did. So does America like a bad boy?
Ooh. I guess it depends on how bad we talking.
Yeah.
She
that's-
does.
Yeah, she does.
America does.
Oh.
She does. We have a love affair with people who go against the grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now in R. Kelly's case, you know, his hardcore fans are going to support him no matter what.
Hmm.
Whether or not he.
And
Sorry,
they
go
should
ahead,
be
bro.
and they shouldn't be shamed by that, I don't think.
No, I don't think they should be shamed. I mean, I don't think anybody should
No.
be shamed about anything. Because in and of itself, it's nothing wrong with supporting an artist whose music that you admire.
Hmm.
And this does not necessarily say that I condone R. Kelly's behavior because I like his music.
Right.
It's not what the two are
Yeah.
are wholly separate. They're not the same
Yeah.
thing at all.
Two different things. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because you can be as mad as you want and totally ready to boycott, but the minute that song comes on, you're gonna feel that little hey. You might try to fight it,
Hmm. Hmm.
but it's there.
That's how it happens, man.
Hmm.
Wow. You know, I'm trying to find something now, man, in my pictures. I'm sorry if I'm looking down. I apologize because we went to the museum today,
Hmm.
and when I say does America like a bad boy, there was this one exhibit, and I took a picture of it, but the information at the bottom is too blurry. I can't read the name of the country, the tribe.
Oh,
They
wow.
made an Elvis mask. Elvis Presley.
A mask.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, we were walking like, is that Elvis? And and Trish did say, yeah, that's Elvis. And I walked over to it and I read it. And again, I can't make out because it's blurry on my phone. But this particular tribe made this Elvis mask as a reminder to their country, to their culture, that the Western values were undesirable, that we were bad people.
Mm,
This was
Yeah.
at the Detroit Institute of Arts.
okay.
Right there today, so I'm not just making this up. It's
Right.
there on displays if anybody wants to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was just fascinating that people look at us a certain kind of way.
Hmm.
And you have a lot of other countries that are looking in at us, and they always say that America is selfish, that we're greedy, that we're spoiled.
Oh, they do.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
so when I asked that question, I was just joking, but then that kind of jarred my memory to remember about that mask that I saw. It was some kind of African tribe that did this.
But they made it as a
Wow.
reminder to decry Western values.
The Western values,
Okay.
exactly. That
Yeah.
you know, we were
Yeah.
our ways were undesirable.
Yeah, a lot of countries feel like that.
They do.
From the outside looking in,
Hmm.
you know, we do things and we allow things to go on here that other countries just they shake their head like how can America be so great? Look at their character, look at the things that they allow, look at their morals or lack of morals,
Yeah.
you
Lack
know,
of morals.
so yeah, I'm not surprised.
So is it fair to say that with some people that that has plenty, that it corrupts the behavior, the character?
People
Say
that have
that
plenty,
again?
Yeah,
is
because
it fair to say?
America is looked at as a country that has plenty.
Hmm.
So, and you look at drill it down to somebody more personal, as like a R. Kelly, since we were talking about him out the gate. He has a lot. So does that kind of challenge or corrupt or corrode, or are we taking the risk of that
Oh,
challenging our character, our morals?
you know what that brings to mind? The rich man through the eye of a needle, a camel can go through before a rich man.
Right.
Oh yeah, what Jesus said, it's harder for a
Yeah.
rich man.
Yeah.
It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of the needle than a rich
For a
man
rich
to
man.
enter the kingdom of heaven.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's something about those riches. And the Bible
Mhm.
also says that the love of money is the root of all evil. And I think that the people who have who allow money and riches to corrupt them or
Spoil
alter
them.
them
Yeah.
or spoil them are those that love the money.
Yeah.
I
You're right.
don't think riches in and of itself is a catalyst for corrupt behavior.
Yeah. It's the
Although
love of money.
you could take a bunch of examples just from our history where the love of money has caused many a family or a corporation or anything to go down in flames or to go down a dark path in
Mhm.
pursuit of that money,
Okay.
so they can have that money and that power. You know,
But doesn't that make life a lot easier for you and your family, though?
I mean, money affords comforts that like not having money
Right.
definitely does not afford. I mean, if you have money, you can eat, you can drive,
Right. It answer all things.
yeah, money answers. Yeah, you can live where you
Right.
want to live, and you can dress, and you can buy coats on clearance at TJ Maxx and all that kind of stuff. If you have money, if you don't have money, you struggling. Some people are in such poverty
Hmm.
that they literally have to eat out of trash cans
Yeah.
and
That's
have to
unfortunate.
shelter themselves with cardboard to
Mhm.
escape the weather and the effects of the weather.
Yeah.
I'm sure those folks would love to have a bunch of money so that they can escape the pain of the poverty that they face.
Yeah.
Because I've heard countless reports, stories, watched those reality shows where the people who win the lottery, the big lotteries,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they end
multi-million dollars.
they end up either broke
Uh-huh.
or dead soon.
Yeah,
Wow.
that always mystifies. And you hear like rich people who have money and have kept money.
Mhm.
They always say that it's a certain type of character you need to have when you get a lot of money.
Oh
Because
yeah.
if you want to keep your money, you got to have a certain character set and mindset towards money and understanding about money. Otherwise, you'll lose it every time.
I just seen something was trending about Denzel Washington
Denzel.
this past week, and he just this little caption that says, "He has no rich friends. He has the same friends. He's had the
Wow.
same friends always. He has no rich friends."
Oh,
So
wow.
a lot of
You ain't got
times,
no Hollywood friends?
I mean,
Come
maybe
on, Denzel. He lying.
Well, meaning true friends, I
He got
guess.
some rich friends.
but here's that thing, and we're gonna do a show on that one day
Hmm.
soon. What is a friend? So according to Denzel, he may look at it like, and I'll just give my little quick definition of it.
Hmm.
If I need you, you're there,
Hmm.
Hmm.
flat out. Flat
Oh
out. I
yeah.
don't want to, and I understand, the little circle that I have. Just so
Hmm.
happen my male friends are all married, so I understand. Nate, if Michelle is telling you, don't help him, don't pick up the phone, talk to Ray. I'm just joking, Michelle. I'm just joking. But I understand. I respect the fact that you guys are married. But I would also like to know that you guys would be there for me.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
And maybe Denzel has a certain type of definition where these Hollywood people, that's just for show.
Superficial.
But my
You
true
know.
blue,
But his
my
real
true blue,
friends.
yeah, exactly. My
Yeah.
true blue friends are there,
His real friends
and
is
they're not superficial.
and you've always had them. Okay, well I can understand
Exactly. They're
that.
not asking for
Yeah.
money. They're more concerned about my character, my conduct, and how me and Pauline are doing. Paulette,
Right.
whatever her name
Paulette,
is.
whatever
Yeah.
her name is.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
true. If you're not used to it, I mean, it can cause you problems. Because
Mhm.
look at the PPP situation. I know someone who got that $20,000 and now they're getting evicted. So
Really?
Mhm.
Really?
so it's crazy. You would think when you get it, you know how to manage it and budget it and all that, but
Mhm.
nope. If you're not used to it,
Yeah, if you're not used
it's
to it,
out
you
the
don't,
window.
and you don't have good counsel.
Hmm.
When you get money like that on a multi-million-dollar scale,
Yeah.
you need good counsel, not just any counsel, because you're going to have a whole bunch of people trying to come after you,
Yeah.
telling you they'll take care of your money. But you need to
Exactly.
have some good counsel, and until you figure out what to do with it, I would not do anything with it.
That's what R.
Yeah.
Kelly has been saying, how he's flat broke now because he trusted all these people with his money
Mm.
and they were ripping him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, R.
Stealing
Kelly. We're back to R. Kelly. So yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
R.
yes.
Kelly would have benefited from some good
From
counsel.
knowledge and power.
Yeah, he would have benefited from good counsel
He
because
would have.
yeah.
Hey, don't be joking on cows like that, fellas. That's my boy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it was hideous what he did. Now I will say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But again, if we knew everything about what a person did in private,
Mhm.
then we would be a silent nation. Because
Oh, definitely.
nobody would want to
Definitely.
cohabitate with anybody.
We got all of us have our skeletons, all of us have our secrets, all of us have our dirt
Right.
that we would rather keep covered up.
Yeah.
So R. Kelly stuff just happens to be all out in public view,
Exactly.
and now he's being held accountable for all those things. Like you said, not to condone or sign off with anything he did. But as far as sitting in the seat of judgment,
Hmm.
if the blanket were to be pulled back on all of our lives, what would it
Right.
reveal? What would it reveal? So, R. Kelly is definitely in a horrible entanglement, as they say. But we could all find ourselves in some kind of way, whether it be being judged on this earth or the next world,
Yeah.
because of our own personal demons and our own personal issues.
Hmm.
So all I can do is, if you said can R. Kelly redeem his name, can redeem himself.
Oh.
Now I thought about that when you asked that question. I thought about, do we discount the Psalms in the Bible because David was a murderer and an adulterer?
What you say, Nate?
Do we throw the Psalms out and say, well, this dude was filthy, so I'm gonna cancel the Psalms?
Come on now.
Do we do that? Now, had David been unapologetic and non-repentant,
Yeah.
and arrogant, and all that other stuff, maybe the Psalms would not even been made the Bible.
Yeah.
Maybe he wouldn't even have written.
He
those
wouldn't have
songs.
written them.
He wouldn't have written those songs.
Mhm.
But I think because of the way David approached his sin, the things that he did wrong, he acknowledged that he was wrong. He acknowledged what he did was he was very remorseful, repentant, not only to God, but to those around him who he had hurt.
Mm-hmm.
His character is what helped him redeem his name after the things that he did wrong. And even so, God judged him for some of the things that he did, because God is not going to let you get away just because you're sorry or you feel bad. You know, there's certain things that carry consequence. And so David had to face some consequences for what he did, some of the things he did. But at the same time, and even facing those consequences, he was very repentant, very sorry. He didn't jump up on the grand stage of his kingdom and say, you know, it wasn't just me. Look at who else was involved in and all this other stuff I did. If I'm going down, y'all going down too.
Exactly.
He didn't take that approach. So I think David's redemption was very caught up or focused around the fact that he humbled himself, asked for forgiveness, and lived a life trying to make up for what he did.
That's good. That's a good point, Nate. Which is ultimately when I made the statement that everyone has something that, you know, they would be remiss or ashamed about if it was uncovered either currently or previously in life.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate end game is to try to work towards improving that, you know, that whatever that flaw, that character flaw is.
I
Much
think that's
like
true.
you said, David, you know, he improved that character flaw once he got out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people's stuff haven't got out, so they have a chance to improve it without it ever being known.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say about the industry from the past. R. Kelly is dealing with social media. All the entertainers and politicians and people in prior generations, they didn't have to deal with that, with their stuff coming out nationwide or internationally because of there was no social media.
Right.
So now that we do, there's a higher scale of judgment than there used to be, because we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Say like I don't know, Bebo Bryson.
Yeah.
We don't know what went on in his life, but if he was doing something,
that's true.
We probably would never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know we're gonna move on from this, but the last thing I'll kind of throw out there for us to kind of tap for a second is the fact that, you know, I'm kind of torn in the sense that, like I said, what R. Kelly was exposed for doing was hideous, whether it was consensual or not, whether whether the victims are flipping on him now, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, regardless, it was terrible. So I'm not defending him there.
Yeah, because he was the one of age in the equation.
Right.
But there was also some grown women that testified too, that said that, you know, there was a bondage side of him, that he was locking them up and wouldn't let them leave. And these grown women, you know, his wife, you know, his ex-wife,
even his wife.
Okay.
But my point that I want to throw out there now is the fact that I'm kind of torn, because again, R. Kelly had a lot of shortcomings as far as you know, being educated. I know they don't stop you from making a decision to do what he did, but he had a lot of people around him that made that life more available for him.
Yeah,
so
they were enabling.
He didn't just mastermind this by himself,
right?
And he probably wasn't the only one that was the recipient.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, who took part in this stuff? Yeah,
exactly. So my point is, I'm torn with, should he? I know he got busted, but should he actually speak out on other people now? Because, and here's my reason. I know we live in a world that says snitches get stitches and don't be a snitch, and that's what people are calling him now if he does that. But here's the thing, that if this is some type of racketeering thing that's put together, that's going on,
right,
it does need to be disposed of.
Bring it down.
Bring it down, exactly. So what do y'all feel about him speaking up now because he's gotten caught and telling other people his business?
I think that's the wrong motive, just because he got caught. But if he had a coming to Jesus moment, which is what he should have had, then bring that whole ring down, because it was wrong in the first place.
Yeah.
So either way it happens, it should still happen.
Yeah, if you could foresee that it had never come to light, and then R. Kelly all of a sudden felt bad for what he did and wanted to expose himself and all the people that were involved, that'd be one thing. But the fact that okay, now I've been caught, I've been sentenced, I'm probably going to jail for a very, very long time, not for my entire life. Now I want to bring down everybody with me. It's kind of too late.
It's
for you to have this, this moment because.
But is it too late to have a hero? It probably wouldn't be looked at as a heroic moment.
I don't look at it. I mean, we don't know. We don't know his true motives. We don't know his true motives. It looks like his motive is he just don't want to go down by himself.
Right.
And so it doesn't look like he's trying to do the right thing at all. Because doing the right thing because it's right should have been done a long time ago.
Okay.
So unless, of course, you trying to say that during his trial he gave his life to the Lord and became a very spiritual man, and all of a sudden on the day of his sentencing decided he wanted to expose his whole ring. Yeah. And then we could have a talk about that, but that's highly unlikely.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I always got to be the one to stir the pot.
Stir.
So I'm going to ask a volunteer. Which one of you brothers want to step into the ring of fire with me? Will it be Nate? Will it be Jake?
I'm always game. Let's go.
Okay. Michelle, I'm using your husband with permission.
Let's go. Let's do it.
These accusations I'm about to throw out are not true. I again say.
Oh Lord, what have I done?
I know.
These accusations I'm about to share are not true for the following person named Nathan Lamont Hall. But anyway,
disclaimer.
So you said that if he had a come to Jesus moment and check his motive for doing what he's doing now, let's just say that we're married, and we're not married together, Nate. But I'm married, you're married, and we're cheating on our wives.
All right.
I get busted.
You get busted.
Mm-hmm.
And because I get busted, I now want to tell and make it known to your wife that after 17 years in the game of doing whatever we wanted to do, going on business trips and all that kind of stuff, hanging out with the fellas, we was really going to just get crazy and get wild. So I tell on you to Michelle now that I've been busted.
Okay.
I didn't have a come to Jesus moment. I'm not running up in nobody's church.
You just trying to be
petty. I'm just a regular guy that just busted. I got told on, so now I'm about to come clean. I'm about to make Nate be right.
Just straight up busted.
I'm angry that I got busted, but I'm not going down by myself.
Right.
So my point for bringing that example up is I don't think Michelle would look at it as, well, I'll receive it from Ray if he has a repentant heart or if he's coming from a place where Jesus dealt with him. I think she will accept the news that, wow, it's tacky how you came at me, but it was still worthy information that I needed to know.
Yeah.
So thank you. Now I need to work on trying to save my marriage or do what I'm going to do with it.
Do whatever you're going to do.
Yeah. So with R. Kelly thing, whether he come to Jesus or not, it's still good information if he tells on them.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
It's still cold and everything.
Whether or not his heart was whatever his heart was, the fact to know the players. Yeah. Because let's take the grown people out the equation. Let's just deal with the underage folks.
Underage folks.
Oh.
The people that were involved in facilitating any of that should come to light. Whether he did it to be spiteful or he did it because he had a change of heart about the situation, that's irregardless. That information should come out because those people need to be held responsible for their part, whatever it is. And so they all. Here's the thing. This might be controversial. They all came up and ate together. Now they need to come down and starve together too.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's deep, Nate.
Yeah.
And they can't get. They shouldn't get mad at our Robert because he telling on them now. If they wanted to be absolved from anything, they should never got involved. You take a risk when you're doing stuff like this, trafficking and all this other kind of thing. You take a risk that your time you could come up at some point.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get away with that stuff forever. So now is their time. If the prosecutions wants to follow up on any of that, that's their time.
Wow, Nate.
And you know what? This is really nothing new, because I know two guys that are from here, from my city,
Mm-hmm.
that used to be a part of R. Kelly's camp.
Entourage. Okay.
Yeah, and they lived over there, and this was like in the mid '90s when Honey Love was out.
Oh, okay.
He got
His
rid of
humble
those.
beginnings.
Yeah, it's humble
Oh,
beginnings.
yeah, they were a public announcement.
Yeah, at that time, you're right.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm learning.
So they, for some reason or another, he got rid of the two guys that live here, and I met them in the '90s, and just happened to be in the same place at the same time having a conversation, and they told me at that time, and this is alleged, that R. Kelly, he don't. This is a quote. He don't want nothing but a 14-year-old girl. In the '90s,
Wow.
this was said to me, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Because they were traveling with him, and everywhere they would go, this is what they were witnessing, allegedly. So,
Alleged.
yeah. So for them to say that back then, this has been going on. So people knew in his camp what was going on,
Yeah.
and they're just now blowing whistles. See, so you're right. And they have been enabling him. So part of that crew should all go in for something.
Yeah.
Some
Did you
kind of
guys watch
consequence.
Surviving R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Did you watch that, Ray?
I watched one.
Okay.
I watched one episode.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they said the same things. That was my point of bringing it up. Is that they said some of the same things that, you know, as far back as people can remember, that's always been his MO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so why are they
here's-
now just now coming forward all of a sudden?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
And here's my reason for taking the long pregnant pause that I took. Because again, I am not supporting R. Kelly's shenanigans, foolishness. But the reason why I took the pause like I did was because, again, trying to embrace the American justice system that we have in place, that everyone deserves a fair trial. I don't care how crooked it may sound. Okay, we need to give him a fair trial. It's just amazing how this Surviving R. Kelly came out just before,
Yeah.
you know, when they were trying to put together his trial date.
well,
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah,
a
it was
nice.
just
I heard a nice. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jake. Go ahead, Jake.
Oh no, I was just saying you're right. It was just before
Yeah, so it makes it hard for anybody, any jury,
jury. Yeah.
Yeah.
to really think. And I'm just going from the place of I did jury duty one time in my life, and it was just, it was amazing, man.
Yeah, it's hard to have a clear-headed jury with the media that we have now.
Yeah, yeah. And
Too much is exposed.
Had I had the social media influence for the person that I was on a jury trial on behalf of, you know, it'd been impossible for us to walk away with the verdict that, you know, that we gave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you know too much.
You know too much.
hmm
You know too much.
Yeah, I heard a conspiracy theory during my research on this topic
What's that?
that R. Kelly had heavy pressure to sell his masters, his musical
yeah.
masters,
Yeah.
and refused to do so.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
You know they come for you
As a
for those
result-
masters. Yeah.
as a result, all of a sudden, his life has now been coming down in shreds
Hmm.
because this person believes that the record companies or the industry wants his masters. And so, like the theories that surround Prince, the theories that surround Michael Jackson,
Bill
Yeah.
Cosby
Yeah.
for trying
Yeah.
to take the network.
For NBC,
like he was trying to
yeah.
take- yeah.
it's like they said, okay, you won't give us those masters.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna expose the stuff you've been
Your
doing.
life is over.
We've been hiding your stuff.
Hmm.
We've been keeping the secret, but now you want to play? Let's play.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true, but I'm
Man,
saying that's interesting because now
Yeah.
he goes to jail. He goes to jail. God forbid something happens to him in prison. They got those masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how that always comes when surrounding those masters or acquiring.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of profit right there when you get your hands on those original recordings.
Yeah, a whole catalog. My
The whole
goodness.
catalog. You can put that in your name, and as
Yeah.
popular as R Kelly,
Hmm.
that's
Hey.
instant money.
I saw
It's-
something. I saw something else trending this week, and we're
I'm
gonna
not
move
saying it's
on
true.
from this.
I'm not saying it's true.
I can't think of the rapper. It's a young cat,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about. They asked him about his opinion about R. Kelly. He said he did not want to talk on that. He said, because I'm not saying whether he was right or whether he was wrong. He said, but all I can say is every time a black man gets to the height of their craft, their artistry,
Yeah.
something happens. And he named Prince. He named Michael Jackson. He named Bill Cosby. And he said, yeah, I just think that they did everything they could to find a way to bring him down. He said, because he was doing this for a long time. And they just happened to come out. He
Yes.
said, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said, come on. And he's like,
They
but was he
know.
wrong? But he's like, but was he wrong for what he did? He's like, I'm not going to even speak on that. He said, but it just came out now?
Right.
He said, come on.
Because it's been going on since, like you said, the 90s, Jake, if not
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Right. And for me to hear that number 14, come on.
But redemption, that's what we're
Redemption.
talking about.
Yeah.
And Nate,
Yeah.
you used the key word when you were talking earlier. You said something about R. Kelly being in this entanglement.
Yeah.
So we would be remiss if we didn't slide over to
That's
just
a
kinda
segue.
close this out and
Talking
talk
about-
about one Mr. Hollywood himself.
Mr.
Yeah.
Smith.
Everyone's
Good old Will.
heartthrob. I mean, I every parent's dream of their kids listen to this rapper because he was so clean.
Clean.
Mhm.
Clean.
This American boy in
And hype.
Hollywood all this time, and how could he not be tainted?
Right.
And that's Mr. Will Smith.
Mr. Will Smith. Yeah, I'm excited about his new movie coming out, though.
Oh, I
playing-
hadn't heard.
Playing Serena and Venus's dad.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
excited about that.
Are you?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
interested
admit.
to see how he plays the role. That's all I'm interested in.
I'm gonna admit, I'm gonna sound like this is gonna be two-faced right here.
Mhm.
I'm struggling with Will. And I had a
As
conversation.
an actor or as a person.
I'm struggling with the whole shebang with Will. I was talking to my nephew about this earlier this week, and he was like, "I don't see the big difference between him and R. Kelly." You
Oh, come on.
let me explain.
Go
Let
ahead.
me explain. Now, Will has always been my favorite rapper. I know he's not the greatest rapper,
Mhm.
but he's been my favorite rapper. And I remember when I was doing a program with the youth, we dating back to 99,
Mhm.
2000s. And I would always filter the room and want to ask the young people, who's your favorite rapper? And I would always tell mine, and they would laugh at me. They would do the little getting jiggy with it. They would crack on me and everything. But I appreciated what he projected in front of the camera.
Yeah.
His clean cut image.
Very positive, clean
Yeah.
Very
cut.
positive. Very positive. Something I could listen to and bump with my 90-year-old mom in the car with me. And wouldn't feel like, I got to turn this part down.
Right.
No,
Right.
his movies, entertaining. He's a funny guy. But the part that I struggled with when I found out, number one, he threw his wife under the bus.
Did he, though?
For a year, man. He let
Oh.
social media destroy Jada for a year. When they talked about the entanglement, they cracked jokes, they put out memes, and he didn't come to her defense. That was strike number one.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
felt some kind of way, like, man, you letting them roast your wife because you were, what's up with that? But see, I thought he was innocent.
Well, they
I
were
didn't
roasting
really-
him too.
I didn't say much. Well, they roasted him for sticking and staying with her
Mm-hmm.
because they thought this whole thing was one-sided.
Yeah.
And now he comes out a year later saying, yeah, we got an understanding.
Mhm.
I'm like, what? After all
Not-
this
Yeah.
time?
Hold on, no, bro.
I'm not finished.
Finish.
Right.
And then after he came out and said, talked about how this is what works for them, that they enjoy other couples, that they have other partners, something like that.
The
Help me
openness.
with it.
Mhm.
But she's
The
giving him
open
permission to tip out, and he's giving her permission to tip out. And how he had to have an intimacy coach to watch his mind so that he wouldn't feel guilty about doing what he did. And how his Christian upbringing, that's what got me there.
Mhm.
His Christian upbringing made him feel guilty if he even looked at a person and felt like they were beautiful. So he now feels like, since he's with the intimacy coach and he no longer has that Christian belief of how to view his marriage and what works for his marriage, he feels much better as a person. So that's when I stepped back. I was like, dang, dude, not only are you, clowning, your Christian upbringing, that it messed you up. You're going to blame your Christian upbringing that messed you up for doing what you did. You also threw your wife under the bus for a year, and you were doing the same thing.
Was he though?
So that's when I began to struggle with, you know what? I don't know if I really want to entertain his movies because you deceived us in a way that you had a chance to come clean and you didn't. That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't. You were more so concerned about your image because you knew people were gonna trip. They'd be like, oh, "Not Will, not Will."
Yeah.
But you knew Bad Boys was coming out, and you had to let that come out. You knew all your other projects, working on King Richard,
Yeah, King Richard. Yeah.
which I don't want to see now. And I love me some Williamson.
Oh, come on, man. King Richard.
Nah, man. That I'm straddling the fence.
Look, man, we don't have a lot of time.
Right. It appears that he's saving her now.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah.
It appears very reactionary,
Yeah.
if I can use such a word.
Yeah.
Now, only reason that the entanglement came out, was it last year or the year before last?
It was last July.
Okay, last July. The entanglement came out is because that rapper dude,
Mm-hmm.
August Alsina.
August.
he went on the interview and had all that stuff he had to say.
I don't know if it's on Breakfast, but it was with Angela Yee.
Okay, Angela Yee, was it? Okay, and he revealed all that he revealed.
Yeah.
Saying that Will gave him permission,
Right.
that he loved Jada, all this stuff. And so, according to Will, they had to come out and respond to that, so that the narrative wouldn't get dictated by the public. That's why they came forward the way they did.
Mm-hmm. But they.
I'm just gonna say. So yeah, it looked like, okay, Jada had to explain herself. Well, she explained herself in great detail. She probably didn't have to. She said it was an actual full out, blown out relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Will started saying, well, if I hadn't have bought her this house, and if I hadn't done that, and if I hadn't given her that birthday party, and I'm a very narcissistic, egotistical kind of guy, and
Oh my goodness.
all these flaws with me have made her.
Yeah.
So you say that's him saving face?
Hold on. I just don't. Now, somebody told me that the article said in GQ that he came out and said he actually had relationships.
Yes.
And that the women
I saw that.
just never came forward about it.
Right.
Right.
They had an agreement.
Well, that's why I didn't get the whole August situation.
I feel like his responses to the direct question of whether they have an open marriage and does he cheat have been all too vague and ambiguous, and he really avoids the question. He says stuff like, we have an understanding, and marriage is not a prison, and all this other stuff. But he never actually came out and said, yes, we both cheat, have multiple other partners. I give her permission, she gives me permission, and we're cool with that.
Right. He won't say it, but Jada does.
I don't think he actually ever had a relationship. I think he said that just because he's trying to save face from the accusation that you just made, Ray, that he threw his wife under the bus.
Okay,
I think they do have an open marriage, but I think it's more one-sided than he's trying to lead us to believe. That's all I'm saying.
Wait. So you trying to say that is he's innocent? That he's not taking part?
You're saying he's not cheating?
I don't think he is.
Well, he was pretty hurt for some reason.
It's all too convenient for him to come out and have all this expose suddenly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read this.
Go ahead, read it.
Okay,
what's the source?
And I know this is from GQ. It's from
GQ magazine. Is this the interview?
This is the interview.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
He detailed his experience of speaking to an intimacy coach who helped him process his thoughts about having a harem of girlfriends.
That's a fantasy. Go ahead.
Including fellow A-listers, and he named some A-listers. Then he went on to say, I don't know where I saw it as a teenager, but the idea of traveling with 20 women that I loved and took care of and all of that, it seemed like a really great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
okay. I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking, fellas. I'm gonna
No,
find
go
it.
ahead. No, read
I'm
the
gonna,
quote.
I
Man.
don't want to read the whole thing because he Will is very crafty.
With
With,
words.
Ambiguous.
I'm about to say
And-
this.
Ambiguous.
I'm about to say
Go.
this. I had a way in school where if I did not want something to be told to the professor, to the teacher, or whomever, shoot, to y'all when we used to hang together at Central, Nate, I had a way of answering the question without giving you anything extra.
Exactly.
You knew that about me.
The politician's answer.
I would give you nothing more than what you asked. So when you say
If
that,
that.
but I wasn't gonna lie. That's the thing about it. So I was a liar. I take that back. But here's the thing. When it came to you asking me directly about something that I did, I would listen and I would pick and choose. Okay, he said was the shirt blue or green and the pants purple. I would focus on the shirts instead of the pants. I'm gonna go answer the whole question.
He said, "Well, the shirt wasn't purple. The shirt wasn't black."
It's
But he would never say the
I kind
shirt
of like
was
shirts,
green,
but
or the
and I
shirt was blue.
totally would omit answering the question about the pants.
The pants.
And that's what
Okay.
Will does so good that
Yeah.
he focuses on what he wants to focus on because he wants to continue to keep this squeaky clean image. And my thing is just come on out now. This is
I
how
don't
you've chosen
think
to
he
live.
did nothing, no.
And then he
I
goes
think
on.
he's allowing things to happen, but he ain't. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then he just says that this marriage arrangement works for them.
Yeah, he says
does.
Not
that.
It works
recommended for
perfectly for
anybody
them.
else.
It works
Which
for them.
that I can give him kudos for.
But where does he say in there that I also actively have had entanglements just like Jay did?
He never says that.
He just said it works for them. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody else, but it works for us.
And it does seem like she's the one that don't hold the marriage values so strict as he does.
Yeah, he said she never had it. She never believed in a conventional.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he stayed with her regardless whether that and that. So he must not have felt that. He must have felt similar in order for them for him to say that it works for them.
Right. Well, unless he just love her that much, like, oh, go ahead, do you?
Yeah, because
But I'm not.
he says about the happiness thing. He talks about my wife's not supposed to make me happy. I'm not supposed to make my wife happy. What we do is we go out and find our own source of happiness.
Yeah.
And I present this to my wife and say this makes me happy, and she does the same to
Yeah.
me. And then we can now come together. And
With
now,
that happiness.
because now we're happy that we've had this source of happiness, now we're happy together. But he never says what that source of happiness is. We just, in our minds,
Oh,
make a connection. That it
right. I
must
didn't
be
think of it that
he
way.
is having other relationships outside the relationship because she did, so then he is too. How do we know?
Right.
I don't know. I'm just saying it just seems fishy to me
He keeps it clean.
that he's all of a sudden
Keeps it
having this.
clean because he has more projects to promote.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. What do you call that when you is it polygamous?
Will have
What
multiple
did he
wives.
say?
Multiple or when you just
Yeah, polygamous has multiple wives.
okay, well not the wives. He don't want the wives. He just has a bunch of a harem.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what teenage kid boy doesn't have a dream of having a posse of women that he goes. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's not an admission that he indulges just because he has the thoughts and his intimacy coaches help him get rid of the thoughts. It never says that
That he's
what the
done
thoughts
it.
lead to. What the thoughts lead to. I mean, like I said, it's very ambiguous. You can't. If you had to take this to a court of law and said, "Will Smith, you've been cheating. Here's our body of evidence."
Yeah, you're right.
They would
Right.
throw that. They would throw that out the court so fast
All right.
because it doesn't say anything. It's a bunch of words that don't say nothing. So I don't know if he is or not. But
That's
I'm just
good,
saying,
Nate. I got to give it to you because
it seems like to me this is a reactionary thing because he probably felt the heat from his fan base saying you threw your girl under the bus.
He did.
You let the internet just beat her down because of her entanglement with August and whoever else.
Right.
And they say it might be a thing that she had with my man Tupac.
Oh, she loved her some
Oh.
Tupac, man.
That was before.
I'm on the podcast. Hold on, let me mute this. This is dog.
But yeah, I
Now look at how serious he is and how committed he is to Jada in regards to divorce, and he's been divorced from his first wife, but I'm trying to see how he is so anti-divorce now with Jada, and he's totally, he's like, we gonna stick it out no matter what. She can do this, that, and the other, but we are together to make it.
You do have guys that are like that.
Yeah.
Not just guys. You do have marriages, couples.
But his first wife, it wasn't that way with her.
Well, no, he said. Now I did see this, Nathan Hall. He said this in an interview.
What did he say?
That talking about his first wife.
Okay.
Had she not divorced him, he would have never gotten a divorce.
Okay.
I heard him say that before.
Because he believed in marriage for the long haul.
That's his personal value then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's his personal value. So somewhere along the line, as we get ready to close out, because we got to go in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
Somewhere along the line, he believed in it then, conventional marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere along the line, he has, in all this time of being with Jada, he's allowed her, since you say it's just her, Nathan Hall, he's allowed her to convince him to change his previous thoughts of what a conventional marriage should be and what he wants to accept in a marriage. To allow her to just go scallywagging through the fields and enjoying herself.
Right.
So he's allowing that because he wants to keep his marriage together. So, and I'm not advocating that he, dumps and runs. I'm not saying that because I am champion for marriages. I think that if you can make it work, make it work.
Yeah.
But I promise you this, she wouldn't be going out doing all that.
Right.
That I can promise you.
Well, if it works, like I said earlier before we got started, they have their own definition of marriage, and they got their own definition of love.
But clearly it didn't work because he was so hurt behind August.
Well,
but now he's saying he wasn't crying real tears.
Those are crocodile tears. He is an actor. But he has gone on record to say that their arrangement works for them, and it helps him understand that
all of a sudden
that is true love that they have for each other.
Yes, he is an actor. And actors do improvise.
That's their definition. It doesn't vibe with our definition or the majority of people's definition, but it is their definition. And I don't agree with it. I couldn't make that choice to be that kind of, even if it was one-sided, I couldn't make that choice.
But you're right, because there's plenty of open marriages out there and they make it work, but for some reason they're in the spotlight regarding it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it speaks to a greater, because the greater public is one that probably doesn't think on a spiritual high or spiritual level all the time. Mm-hmm. I think it speaks to people's curiosity and why they're so interested in it. And maybe, will this work for us? Let's try it and see. Maybe they got something something there.
So
now I would hope that's not the reason.
So now his public platform, is just about to challenge or create a new challenge. It's not to say that the biblical stand or view on marriage has not already been challenged, but now this is a new narrative that's being put out there to challenge how people look at approaching their marriage, because they probably want this new level of what does he call it? New level. We give each other trust. Love. It's a new way of expressing. Mm-hmm. But I'm just going to run this and we can get out of here. The 10 keys to successful marriage, biblically. This don't apply to them because he already said he had to use the intimacy coach to wash his mind.
Washed his mind.
Foundation in Christ.
Yeah.
Commitment.
It's gone.
Love. Prayer. Christian support. Forgiveness. Humility. Gentleness. Peace. Patience. And unity. Those are the key, the 10 keys to a successful marriage. And I understand that people may say, well, he says working for them, and it's a new blissful level of love. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to sit there and cry no crocodile tears.
Right.
That's what I said.
look like I'm distraught. Even if he wasn't crying, he said he wasn't. He was just tired, but his face looked like it was upside down.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to
The
abide
eyes.
by biblical principle that works, why? And I'll conclude with this: is because marriage is designed by God. He's the creator of it. He's the author of marriage. There is no way a person can come behind and revamp or reinstitute something that will work better than the original creator of something.
Thank you.
I don't care what you come
Now,
up
I
with.
love that.
That's good.
So with that
You
being
got time
said,
to read those again?
I'll read them real quick. The 10 biblical keys to a successful marriage is foundation in Christ, commitment, love, prayer, Christian support, forgiveness, humility, gentleness, patience and peace, and unity.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's the true foundation.
So
That's good.
with that being
solid.
said, that's
That's
solid.
solid.
Yes, they cannot
Yeah.
mess with the original creator and author of marriage.
Nope.
Can't do it. I don't care how much they try. So you want a plan that's gonna work? You got to go
Stick
back
with
to
that
him.
one.
You
Yeah.
gotta go. You can't do it no other way. Your way is not gonna work. So
That's
that
true.
being said,
Love that.
Nate, do you have a wisdom
Oh, man.
nugget
Oh man.
to close out our show?
I'm about to steal this from somebody else because I don't have a good one right now. But I'm gonna put it this way: don't be hungry looking at somebody else's plate.
Oh, good.
Don't go
That's
hungry
good.
looking at somebody else's plate.
Don't go hungry looking at somebody else's plate.
There you go.
Wow.
Okay.
That's my wisdom nugget.
Thank you,
Yeah.
bro, Nate. All right, then, fellas. As always, it is a joy to hang out with y'all for this little bit of time that we
Oh
have.
yeah, as always.
Always.
Thanks for
next
holding
week.
it down on the facilitator tip, Ray. Appreciate you, man.
No problem, man. I had a great teacher. Thanks a lot, Nate, for teaching me what I know.
Oh yeah.
You're
All right,
doing
then,
it.
fellas. You guys have a blessed week.
Yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Okay.
Yes. Peace.
All right, brothers.